Okay, and we're back. Welcome back to RealComm. We're still in day one here in Nashville, Tennessee. We thank you for joining us. Right now, my guests are Mariel Ebrahimi from CRE, DisruptCRE, and Leo Lowe from Asia PropTech. Thank you guys both for being on the show. Okay, before we even get started, what are some of the themes you're already starting to see emerge from RealComm 2019?
Lady first.
Wow, so many different things. Where do we even start? But I think the nature of just technology, being able to integrate, being open, being able to connect and talk to and learn from one another. It seems so simple in 2019. Naturally, we should have these capabilities, but I think just in a short 5 years from hearing from the end users, you know, guys, open your APIs. We don't want all these single point solutions, to where we are now with the level of deep integrations. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think just the nature of buildings becomes so much more intuitive to its users therefore. So it's really an amazing transformation in just a short couple of years.
Yeah, collaboration, definitely one of the buzzwords this year. What else are you seeing?
Correct. I think I'm happy to see traction here because I'm from Hong Kong. Just discussed it. I think the traction is getting higher and higher starting from last year in my region.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see the solutions here. And I think, for example, construction-related technology is more promising, maybe. So definitely, I think I can bring some, insights and solutions to my region after this event.
What are some of the insights and solutions that you're seeing on the show that really you're excited to bring back?
For example, about the IoT things, IoT solutions. There are many new buildings constructed every year in my region. They need very much the IoT and also how to put the IoT data on the blockchain platform.
Yeah.
So that's something I can see from this event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just kind of speaks to what I was saying before. The nature of data is becoming so much more comprehensive when all these systems can connect and they're homogeneous and they're streamlined. And I think what's most interesting is that you hear a lot of the audience asking really good questions, and it means they're getting it.
Right.
It means they're understanding. It means they understand how to use that data, not just have it for the sake of having it, because we've always had that building data.
Yes, go ahead.
Somehow I think a PropTech is just like putting the different pieces of puzzles together. So maybe some years ago, the technology companies, some of them, working on their own solutions. But now I think it's the time to combine the different pieces of puzzles together to make, kind of PropTech more disruptive.
Right.
Yeah.
What are the interesting disruptive use of PropTech that you're seeing in Asia right now?
All right. I think we are now shifting more to the data analytics. For example, valuation, AVM, automated valuation model. In China, although they are not treating themselves as a PropTech company, actually they are doing something great under the radar. The AVM results generated by those companies are now recognized by some mortgage banks. So I will see in the near future, for example, data analytics plus AI plus blockchain can really do something, draw more traction in the real estate financing and investment sector in my region. Yeah, that's my view.
I think it's interesting when I read about properties in Asia, there seem to be a higher propensity for rigging.
Yeah.
And how are you can one use blockchain to try to undermine some of that corruption?
I think, blockchain to me is nothing magical. It's like just an infrastructure.
Yeah.
But it's very important to have such infrastructure to lower, for example, the cost of transactions, the cost of capital, to make things more transparent, especially for the emerging markets in, for example, Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is ASEAN region, or we call it. It's a very big market with over 400 million people there. But the land market there, the real estate market there, may still, not transparent enough. So I think blockchain can definitely help.
Yeah. So Mariel, what it seems like we're talking about is a sort of balance. People want to get their hands dirty more. They want to get more involved. They want to actually interact with it. And as we're dealing with a greater adoption and interest, that ups the security needs. So we want to give them more play more, but also play safer. How are you seeing that addressed?
Well, I don't know if it's the play more philosophy in the U.S. PropTech market. I think it's adoption and acceleration of technology use almost as a result of just cultural changes. We need that technology to suit the needs of how we want to use buildings, how do we want to interact with people, and so a natural repercussion of that is privacy and what that means. And it's a tremendous responsibility as an industry that we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect ourselves, our buildings and the public spaces and all of the things that we build as infrastructure. And I think that, really with every new technology, there's an introduction of a new vulnerability that you bring into the tech stack. I think there's a lot of abstract unknowns, a lot of questions to be asked. I think that there are a lot of really smart companies in this room that are tackling those issues, far smarter than me. I have the privilege of learning about a lot of the cybersecurity, a lot at this conference as well. Yeah. But I think what's interesting is the nature of blockchain technology. It's not something magical. It's a very rudimentary, just digital encrypted ledger. We've been keeping ledgers for a long time on business processes, building processes, but it speaks to the level of transparency that technology brings to these decision makers as owners, investors, portfolio managers, and it's a really amazing place for them to sit with a level of transparency that lets them hold their vendors, their service providers accountable.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting paradigm shift.
So let me ask you both this same question. What is the most interesting technology emerging today? What is the one that you are most excited about? You're smiling so much.
Because I ask people this all the time, and I know it's such a hard question to answer. And it's equally hard sitting in this seat answering that question for you.
Guys, I think it's really not easy to answer. As I mentioned, I think PropTech is kind of involving different pieces of puzzles.
Yeah.
Once you put them together to make it more, more disruptive. For example, I can't name any single one, but I can share with you guys about one trend, which is happening in China. China, the governments, they tend to give out some land with a cheaper prices to those developers who can bring in the technologies. So now we see China is happening in a way that we are redefining the property industry by, say, using the space to extract data. So any technologies, any solutions that can help or speed up the extraction of data from the space, I think that would definitely redefine the property. For example, in the past, we evaluate the property by the usage values, but now it depends on how much data you can extract from a real estate space to make it more experimental, to make it a more immersive entertainment elements, for example. So that's what's happening in China. So not a single solution can do this, but a combination of solutions can definitely do that. Yeah.
I'm going to pick the really seemingly uninteresting category of risk management and insurance.
Okay.
And it's something I've been more and more interested in because I think that it's something that everybody needs. We all need it in commercial real estate or in any aspect of your life. Sure. But we've always kind of relied on our providers to tell us the premiums that we need, and we go with that.
Right.
That's what we do. But there's a level of measurement of risk that technology enables in every aspect of the tech stack. So whether it's facilities and operations, the machines, the water controls, down to, of course, the cybersecurity, the construction, and even emergency response. And so I think being able to measure risk translates into, I'll take a premium based on what my risk actually is versus what it may be. And we hope that we think it might be based on potentially historical context or whatever the premiums happen to be this year. So I think there's a lot that's relevant to cost savings, not just from a facilities and operations standpoint, which we talk about a lot, but from the fundamentals of like a business standpoint as it relates to the real estate portfolio. So I think that's super interesting.
The ability to collaborate in setting prices for premiums, is that what you're talking about?
Well, but the nature of being able to actually measure risk with technology and take a premium that matches the risk that you're actually assuming.
Right.
Versus the unknown. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. Now, have you two collaborated a lot in the past?
We've never met.
Oh, not yet.
They've just paired you up here.
Correct.
Yeah.
I definitely see there's room for more collaboration.
Yeah, we'll definitely hang out after this.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do our next interview will be in Hong Kong, and the three of us, and we'll. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rio.
Okay.
Thank you so much for both of you coming and talking to Asia PropTech.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
And look forward to talking to you guys again next year.